Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the Daily Tarot for Monday the 8th of November 2021. I've shuffled, so I will cut. This is a major arcana reading. Death, Temperance, and the High Priestess in the reverse. Okay, well, there may be a feeling today of things being perhaps a little bit out of control, a little bit beyond our power to prevent or change or stop or make happen or change or move forward. The Death card speaks of inevitable and utterly democratic and impersonal change. The kind of change that happens to us all. It's when we accept, like card number 13 in the tarot cycle, that no matter what we do, change happens. Change is the only constant. And it's the only thing upon which we can bank. Okay, there's that. Now, this followed in this reading and in the tarot cycle by card number 14, Temperance, also in the upright. So that's good, because the Temperance card follows the Death card for a reason. It follows the Death card because once we have accepted this, we come to a place of calmness, strangely. Once we stop fighting this and stop labouring under the illusion that we are in control, it takes the pressure off somehow, and it expands our vision, and it creates a much broader range of movement for us, and that is represented by the Temperance card. We become still. We become peaceful and restful. There is still movement here. I mean, nothing's stopped, but we've stopped struggling. We've stopped fighting it. The spine becomes straight. The body becomes largely immobile. We stay in one place and we watch the pendulum moving from this side to this side, and this side to this side, and this side to this side, this side to this side. And we become somehow oddly much more self-contained. I remember the first time when I started my meditational practice back in 2013, which I continue to this day. The first penny that dropped, and it was the penny dropping that actually gave me the motivation to meditate. It didn't come the other way. It wasn't that the penny dropped after I meditated. The penny dropped and then I thought, right, okay, I'm going to start doing some kind of practice. Was the realization that large tracts of what was bothering me in life were out of my control. The Death card. They were out of my control. I could not make them stop. I could not change them. I could not make them behave in the way I wanted them to behave, in the way I think they should behave. And I think we all have that. Once I'd let go of the illusion, in a sense, that I could control them, and the frustration that comes with trying to control things that cannot be controlled, once I'd let go of that, I became very calm. Very, very calm. So this is why the Temperance card follows the Death card. Okay, now the reason I say there might be some discomfort associated with this is that we have the High Priestess in the reverse here. So there's a sense of, I would say, being cut off from the truth of ourselves. But it's temporary. It's as temporary as either of these vessels being full. Okay? It's always moving, always moving. But there is, there's a sense of not necessarily being kind of really at home in ourselves. And that might not necessarily be a bad thing, because sometimes we get used to an unhelpful way and an uncomfortable way of being at home in ourselves, but because this is good energy, this movement from the acceptance of the inevitability of change towards the calmness that comes with that acceptance. Let's get another one. Okay. Emperor in the reverse. Yeah, so there's a sense of impotence, I would say, basically. You know, I get the, straight away, I get the image of an emperor sitting, or a king sitting on their throne, shouting commands, and no one is listening. No one's listening. And the louder he shouts, the less seriously anyone takes him. Yeah, there's a sense of not being taken seriously today. But, you know, I really do think that is temporary. So just try and perhaps observe what that is like. You know, what is it like when you send a kind of karmic arrow out into the world and either nothing comes back or something that you don't want comes back? And what is it like to feel powerless? What is that like? Because this acceptance, while it does bring a kind of peaceful feeling, it also can bring with it, you know, the uncomfortable side of not being able to control things. And I think that's what I'm seeing here in the High Priestess and the Emperor in the reverse. Okay, but this is good. Look, Devil in the reverse, because again, I keep coming back to this Death card and the movement from this to the Temperance card. The illusion that one is in control of things of which one is not in control, it is an illusion, can be very, very kind of entrapping for us. It can keep us very, very bound, because we feel like if we can't make things work the way we want them to work, then, oh God, it's just a very uncomfortable feeling. And the Devil is an uncomfortable feeling. It's a feeling of being sort of hooked down, chained down and bound. But in just perhaps examining what it is like, as soon as we stop reacting to how we feel and take just one little step aside and get a little bit of perspective and look at it and think, well, what does this actually feel like? As soon as we start examining how we feel, as we might examine, I don't know, an object, you know, say this. As soon as we stop reacting to this, I don't know how one might react to it, but when we stop reacting to it and actually just start looking at it and examining it for what it is and not for what it means to us, we get perspective. And the constricting feeling of our own reactions to things begins to dissipate. And that's what I'm seeing in the Devil in the reverse. So yeah, as I said, just look at it. What does it feel like to acknowledge that your power is limited? Because it is. It doesn't mean you don't have any, but it does mean that it is limited. And it's good, and this is what we see in the Temperance card. It's good to know that, because when you know what your limits are, then you can really function supremely well within them. Okay, there we go. Chariot in the upright. How lovely. Okay, this really, really is. The two horses here today, for me, represent that which can be controlled and that which cannot be controlled. That over which we have power and that over which we do not have power. And it's very, very interesting in this Chariot card, because it's all about the juxtaposition of power and impotence, power and powerlessness. Okay, because these two horses, we control them. The charioteer controls them, and he doesn't. Because, you know, they've got their own brains, they've got their own system of sentience, they've got their own nervous system. They want what they want. They like what they like, and they don't like what they don't like. And they want to do what they want to do. And they are controlled by the charioteer. that's what we're dealing with here today. The juxtaposition, again, most of my readings are about juxtapositions, the juxtaposition of control and lack of control. And the invitation on the table today is to step to one side, away from the emotional reaction to the lack of control, whatever it represents for you, and simply examine it. Because when we get that perspective, we gain power. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.